My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is December 16, 2025. It is 4:06 a.m. So I have a lot of tweets to share with you. I was not on X that much yesterday, but when I got online this morning, I finished edit whatever I did yesterday. And I saw a lot of squaddies were retweeting Carl Malone apology about Miss Doria, whatever she said about Miss Doria. So I'm probably gonna have several videos, but there was a list that I started. I'm gonna record that list first, then hopefully I'll have some of these Carl Malone apology in this video, but we'll see how that goes. But this is not gonna be on this channel. It's gonna be on APTS Sussex. I literally just upload this, see, 8 seconds ago. Let's see here. Anybody seen it yet? Okay, one person see it. Wow, 3 likes already. So I just upload this. That's what I was working on. I wanted to finish that before I start recording. So let's go on APTS Sussex to look at the background. Not that I want to look at it, but I just want to have this. This is where I'm going to have that. Okay, let's go on X. I put this on the list. I just saw she responded to Simmons, her ex-husband, whatever she put, but it's further down. Let's start from the top. First tweet. How does adulteress King Charles promote Christianity when out of petty vindictiveness he downgraded his son's security, evicted him and his family from Frogmore Cottage, leaked stories against his son and wife, who he took on as a working royal to promote the monarchy and the Commonwealth, but will not pay for her like he pays for Kate, and the refuse to go to his granddaughter Princess Elizabeth Diana's christening. All right, so that was the squad caption, and she retweeted that. All right, let's pause this. Let me read. He protects Bishop Peter Ball. They're going to regret every aligning with the far right. It's a joke to even be the head of the church. Okay, so let's go to the retweet. Quote, I don't think I've ever seen him promote Christianity. End quote. That's this person here on King Charles. He threw a party for Islam and Muslim in Windsor, and I've not seen anything of him doing that for Christians. I mean, that's the thing. They have no morals. There's no, I guess the only thing they cherish is money. Wherever the money is, that's where they will do their thing. They don't care about anything. There's no core values. And that was the problem that they had with Harry and Meghan. Okay? Meghan had her core values. Harry had his own, despite, okay? Keep in mind, Harry is a royalist. Or, I don't know, maybe was a royalist. So that was his job to help the institution and things like that. But he maintained his core value, despite the images we were seeing out there. So there were things he will not do. For instance, I'll give you an example before I even play this video, which I have on Pure YTE. When he was doing things for Santa Bali, his father sent a Middle Eastern man to Harry to donate to Santa Bali. Now, Harry was more than happy to receive the donation, and I think he logged it and his, however the charity work with money and things like that. Okay, so he logged it, but he didn't receive it yet. It was a promise that from talking on top of my head. You could go back to that video. I'll show you the thumbnails because I remember the thumbnails. You could go and watch it. It's pretty much fresh. I may have read an article that explained what I'm saying here. So when the guy, the person, the Middle Eastern was talking to Harry, probably I'm gonna donate this amount, whatever, and Harry logged it, he was gonna receive the money and things like that. But when it's time for him to give Harry the money, now all of a sudden there was some sort of a stipulation. You're gonna have to come to his place, party with him, drink with him, or probably just show off Harry to his friends. Okay? And I think the father was setting him up to have pictures of that. So when that happened, Harry told the guy about the donation, said, look, it's not about me. It's about the charity, the kids, and things like that. No, I'm not going to come and party with you. I'm paraphrasing, okay? And once Harry realized that, Harry told his father, don't do business with this guy. This is my experience with him. He was supposed to donate to the charity. All of a sudden, he's asking me to do all of that. And I don't think Harry did what the guy said. And I don't remember if Harry did receive the donation for Santa Bali. But Harry did warn his father about the guy that he sent to him to donate to charity. And I think that came to light because I think Charles was in trouble for something. I don't remember what the trouble was. And then Charles was going to blame Harry for whatever mess Charles was facing. And I think it's through that where Harry was saying, don't blame me for this because I warned you about that guy. Okay? So this is the core value of Harry. Okay? That's one of the things I could sort of showing you the distinction between the two. Charles will follow where the money is and do all sort of unethical things. And because he knows he has the power to make things disappear. Look about the bag of money that he received. And then when police was going to do investigation, all of a sudden, there was no investigation. Okay, these sort of things that I'm talking about. Charles will follow the money. There is no really core values of him. I guess the only core values is the money. Meanwhile, Harry has a core value. There are things he will not do for money. This kind of thing. Okay? But anyway, let's listen to that. What he has to say.
The head of the Church of England is King Charles. Do you think he does enough to promote Christianity in this country and around the world?
I don't think I've ever seen him promote Christianity. I could be naive in saying that, but you know, he threw a party for Islam and Muslim guys in Windsor, and I've not seen anything of him doing that for Christians. So, yeah, I definitely don't think he does.
We've seen citizens. The head of the Church of England.
That's pretty accurate, I think. When is the last time you pray or went to church, Ross? Shut the F up. I don't know. He's talking facts. Let's give him that. I'm in sort of an agreement with him. This is not to say that whatever it is that they, for whatever reason they're out there. I don't know why they're out there and why they had to ask him that question. But what he said, I think it's true though. All right. He's right, the king. All right. What is this? You could pause and read. Okay. Support for Muslim, support for Christian. No. Mention Muslim and Christmas message. Mention Christian and Christmas message. Okay. So these are the things. He is talking the facts. Okay. Let's see here. The fear of being called a name is worse than actually doing something wrong with a lot of people. That's an ad. So let's leave that on. Let me pause this so I don't get flagged. Let's go to the next tweet. Oh my God. 8 minutes on just the first tweet. Okay. I'm definitely going to be recording all night. Well, it's almost 5 o'clock. Not my king tweeted that. The crowd barriers made more noise than the crowd. Credit King's God channel. All right. 29 seconds. I cannot play it properly. Anyway. All right. So I'm just going to do it right like that. Empty. Look at the barriers. Empty. Maybe here, probably the photographers. This is the crowd, the photographers. But everything else, just empty. Who was that? Is it Charles or? Oh, that's Kate. That's Kate. Where is the YouGov poll? Oh, that's me here 58 minutes ago. The crowd first picture. There they are here. What did I put here? Empty. Same spot that I forgot I respond to it. Empty. Let me read this. Why? What crowd? A complete and utter waste of taxpayers' money. I would love for Harry and Meghan to go back to London together just to prove a point to everyone that there will be a huge crowd everywhere. They go so those crowd or something. Alright, let me not laugh. I would love for Harry and Meghan to go back to London together just to prove a point to everyone that there will be a huge crowd everywhere they go, so we can laugh at the haters. That would be awesome. Mostly peaceful worship. Surprise, there are only 2 cars. Next tweet. Ay. Let's pause this. Okay, from my TikTok, Duchess successful daily. All right, let's listen to that. Oh my God, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Screenshot, okay?
The Daily Fail, Caroline Graham and Thomas Markle should be so much more embarrassed by this entire saga than they actually are. But instead, they're doubling down. They're just embarrassing themselves even more.
These people, they have absolutely no shame. No shame. They have no shame. So if you have no shame and they're doing this, I don't know what else to say. They have no shame. The only thing these people worship, like I was just saying about Charles, it's money. That's it. There is no core values. Not too long ago, I was talking about when you look at different cultures around the world, you look at Asian cultures, African cultures, African American cultures. Okay, there's 2 types here: African American and there's Americans. Probably white with different background or whatever, but African American, the dark skinned one. Okay, they have principles. They have respect for elders. I think that's when I brought this up on that particular video. Okay, so these people, I do not think they have any values with the exception of money. They'll do anything for money. They degrade themselves naked. They do anything for money. That is their only thing that they worship. Okay? Let's continue. This is why they continue doing their stupidity. Everybody sees that with well-minded people who have core values. They see the stupidity of these people, but they don't care. All right, let's go. You know what? Since I just started, let me rewind it so I don't... Okay.
The Daily Fail, Caroline Graham and Thomas Markle should be so much more embarrassed by this entire saga than they actually are. But instead, they're doubling down. They're just embarrassing themselves even more. They don't want to pull away. Their plot to corner Meghan failed epically, and I think they're just trying to do a cleanup job now. So here we have the latest cover of the Daily Fail, where Caroline Graham is saying, "My tears with Meghan's father, I told him, choose her over our friendship." Let's be clear that this is not a friendship at all. This is 2 people using each other. Caroline Graham is using Thomas Markle to try and get a story. Thomas Markle is using Caroline Graham and the Daily Fail to try and get money and also try to rebuild his image, which is very tarnished already. That's a disaster of his own making when he tried to sell his daughter to the tabloids, despite his daughter and her husband trying to help him. As a journalist, when you get this close to the story and you become the story, you no longer have any journalistic integrity. And mind you, her reasoning for getting close to Thomas Markle had nothing to do with getting information that was in the public interest. It was all about her personal interest and the Daily Fail's interest. And now she's written the most wackadoodle piece in the Daily Fail trying to defend herself. She says, "When I first met Thomas Markle 7 years ago, I never imagined it would spark a friendship that would see me spending this last week by his hospital bed in the Philippines." Now, one of the things that Caroline Graham does not mention in any of this, and she deliberately ignores, is the last time the Daily Fail published a private letter from Meghan to her father, it was Caroline Graham that he handed that letter to. That was the reason Meghan and the Daily Fail went to court and Meghan won. She goes on to say, when we met in the turbulent aftermath of his daughter's wedding to Prince Harry in May 2018, it was in my professional capacity as the US editor for this newspaper, interviewing him about the rift that began when he posed for paparazzi pictures, suffered 2 heart attacks and failed to walk his daughter down the aisle. That sparked an estrangement which sadly continues to this day. Now, what she doesn't mention in that is that Meghan and Harry tried to warn Thomas Markle about getting too close to the tabloids. They tried to help. He did not listen. He was more concerned with using his daughter to get money and clout than being a father. She goes on.
Okay, all of these were mentioned in court. I've highlighted. When I'm editing, I'll put the screenshot of the text message where what she's saying here. Let's continue.
I want to say, as a journalist, I've interviewed hundreds of people over the course of my career. I can count on the fingers of one hand those I've stayed friends with. Well, as a journalist, your subject isn't meant to become a friend, and if they do become a friend, they can no longer be the subject. He sent me a text on Wednesday, December 3rd, telling me he was about to have his leg amputated after being hospitalized following a fall the previous day. I immediately called his son, Thomas Jr., who lives with him in the Philippines, where they had moved at the start of this year. So Thomas Markle texts a journalist at the Daily Fail before his own son and other daughter, Samantha. Before any of his family members, he texts a tabloid writer, because I'm trying not to call her a journalist because she's not that. He goes on to say, I was shocked to find that Tom had texted me the news from his hospital bed before telling his son. Thomas Jr. called his dad and immediately rang me back. He really wants you to come. This is bad. Can you come? So she goes on to say, my decision to rush to the Philippines would backfire on me spectacularly last week when the full wrath of the Sussexes' powerful PR team was aimed at me. He told me he'd been privately trying to reach Meghan, writing letters to both her and his ex-wife Doria, Meghan's mother. I mean, it sounds to me like they've gone no contact, which is absolutely fine considering all the things that Thomas Markle put them through. But I don't believe that there is no respectable avenue that they could have reached out to Meghan to tell her about her father's condition that did not involve the Daily Mail. She goes on to say, I feel it is important to set the record straight. I've only ever written stories with Tom's express permission, and he told me he wanted to give an interview to the Mail on Sunday as he sought control of the narrative around his amputation. He's been burned a lot by people on the internet making up stories. He also wanted to reach out one last time to Meghan. He says, I don't know if she realizes how sick I am and that I might die. I want to do a story because I'm sure there is all sorts of made up ish on the internet. The thing is the second this made news on the Daily Fail, it was being weaponized against Meghan to make her look like a bad daughter. This is what he doesn't seem to understand. He once again contributed to his daughter being bullied. She says, after last Sunday's story came out, I received a flurry of messages from one of her PR team. I found the tone unnecessarily aggressive and was so concerned I told him I would prefer that he dealt with my editor and the paper's legal team. I had other things to worry about, like looking after Tom, whose life was hanging in the balance. I find that part highly manipulative because, let's be honest, Caroline Graham does not care about Thomas Markle's health. He had more than enough opportunities to try to make amends with his daughter and he threw it away. As this commentator on Twitter quite rightly says, journalists are supposed to report. It's a job. They're not supposed to cast themselves in the lead in a freaking toxic soap opera of their own making. Caroline Graham has lost the bloody plot, and so has journalism in this country when it comes to Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And indeed, just when I think this whole saga, this obsession, this deranged obsession with Meghan cannot get any more toxic or ridiculous, a tabloid comes and does something like this. You have literally never seen anything like it, and honestly, Meghan, girl, you really broke these people in a way that I have never seen anyone do. Truly the real queen of the UK.
That is true. As I'm listening to this while I'm editing, something came to mind. Almost the same thing that I have said about William settling with the tabloid, where they probably told him that if he prevent... That's my narrative, okay? It was not written anywhere. It was my narrative once I found out that he settled with the paper for the phone hacking. My talking point was that maybe the papers gave William some extra cash after the real settlement money was given to him, and they give him extra, and attempt to prevent Harry from suing them. So since that then happened, because William cannot control Harry, so they probably on William's case, because he probably took the money and there's Harry suing them. So they put a lot of pressure on him. Now, how does that translate into Meghan's father? And keep in mind, I've said that the UK is very good at psychology. So when the father had given the papers, Caroline, I think allegedly, the first letter that Meghan had sued the paper for, and she won. That letter I'm talking about. When Meghan's father gave Caroline the letter, and then Meghan ended up suing them, and she won. So they probably play a trick on Thomas Markle for the reason why they're putting pressure on him. For whatever it is, give him access to his daughter, make him feel some sort of a way where it's his fault that they lost the case. Even though Charles has sued them before. What's the other one? I think Princess Anne had sued them before for the same thing about letters. But because they're so good on manipulating and playing with people's mind, they probably did something to Meghan's father and to give them access, as many access as possible, even though they know it's freaking wrong. They know it's wrong, but they're fooling the father. This is where the age come into. They're manipulating him. Put their name, Caroline name, on the list for people who could come and visit them. If there's some sort of a phone call, they should know. So they will make money any shape or form as possible. Okay? This is not to take any side, but I'm just saying the manipulation, because these people are good at it. Okay? What I'm saying right now, it's not written anywhere. Just my assumption. Because these people have done this so many times, and they're pretty much displaying some of the things that they have done in the past, but now it's full broad daylight. In real time, they're playing it. Getting celebrities' medical information, pay people to give them their private information, phone hacking, and all of that. So they probably manipulate the father to get access, and the father is playing along too. Okay, don't get me wrong about that, but the manipulation probably made him believe it is his fault that they lost the case. I thought you told me you have we could print this, you gave me the letter, and all. I don't know, they're just fooling with him. So that's what came to mind as I was listening to this video again. And when I first recorded it, I didn't think of it, but now that I'm editing, this came to mind. The same thing that they did to William, even though William had upper hand about the phone hacking. So they manipulate him, but they can't manipulate Harry. That's the problem they're having with Harry. They try to manipulate Harry, but they can't get to Harry. Okay, meanwhile, there's Harry exposing them one by one. Anyway, let's get back to the original recording. That came to mind. I thought I added. That doesn't mean it's true. And you guys, I know you could come after me for that. You don't have to agree with me about that. But it crossed my mind. So I made sure not to interrupt too much. Let's see some of the responses. Brilliantly put, because the truth spoken brings peace. Hell really should hide under the floorboard somewhere for being an utter disgrace. She dangled an intimate relationship to this greedy man, and now her ass is on display for the world to see. 2. Thomas doesn't care. Meghan is being bullied. He is blinded by greed. Yeah, that's Meghan's name and title from now on, folks. The real queen of UK. Thomas Markle raised the 2 bungling Markles and had little to do with raising Meghan. Yeah, you don't plant carrots and get oranges. Yeah, Meghan's quality right now, what we are seeing, it's Miss Doria's upbringing. You know, kudos to Miss Doria.
The Daily Fail, Carolyn Graham.
And I talked about it not too long ago. I had so many positive things to say about Miss Doria. I didn't even know what other positive words to say, because she did an absolutely beautiful raising Meghan and being the quality mother that Meghan needed. Okay, and this is what attracted Prince Harry. And meanwhile, Prince Harry, who, you know, I think Princess Diana was doing that with Prince Harry, but he lost his mother at a very young age. He did not get the extra correction that he needed. But thank God, Princess Diana planted enough positivity in Harry that, I've spoken about it so many times that I think at one point Harry got lost or maybe was questioning things. That's me talking, not Harry, but I'm going based on things that I've seen online. I'm sitting at my home, saying things about people I never met and I don't know personally. But from what I've seen, it seems like at one point after Princess Diana died, Harry was lost. The institution was not really guiding him in the right direction. They probably were smiling in front of him, telling him all the things that he wants to hear, but they were guiding him in the wrong path to be a scapegoat for the brother. Okay? And you see how lost the older brother is. But I think that confusion or that tug of war with Princess Diana's teaching, upbringing, and the institution upbringing got Harry very confused. And I think Africa, and I think he probably said it in some other places, probably his book, where Africa was what really escapism for him. Okay? To get away from the negativity from the UK. Harry preferred being in a war zone than being at in his castle, the comfort of his home. He'd rather be in a war zone than being over there. So that tells you a lot. But one thing I have said many times is that after Princess Diana died, all the ups and downs, the zigzag, the road that the experiences that he went through, he had to go through them and then come out on top of learning from those experiences in order for him to meet Meghan. Because if during the ups and downs and let's say at a younger age, if he had met Meghan, it will not work. Because Meghan was straight. Her road was straight. She knew what she wanted to do with the guidance of Miss Doria. Credit to Miss Doria. Give her flowers. And Meghan was able to, go through her path very straightforward. And if Harry had come in between, it would have messed up her path in some shape or form. Okay? It would not work. Their union would not work. But Harry had to go through some of the ups and downs that he went through in order for him to see where Meghan is. And one thing, I did recognize it, but I hope some of you recognize it. The Squaddies were smart, so I'm sure they did. But it needs to be said, is that Meghan did not diminish herself the moment she married Harry. Okay? She remained with her core values, okay, especially during her engagement, where she said something, she talked about her upbringing, she's proud of her heritage and things like that. Okay, if I find it in that video, I'll show it to you. I'll put it, you could listen.
Well, I think also because there's a misconception that because I have worked in the entertainment industry that this would be something I would be familiar with. But even though I've been on my show for, 6 years at that point, and working before that, I've never been part of tabloid culture. I've never been in pop culture to that degree and lived relatively quiet life, even though I focused so much on my job. And so that was a really stark difference out of the gate. But and I think we were just hit so hard at the beginning with a lot of mistruths that I made the choice to not read anything, positive or negative. It just didn't make sense, and instead we focused all of our energies just on nurturing our relationship.
On us. Yeah.
On us. Yeah.
And some of that scrutiny, and you ended up making a very public statement about it, some of that scrutiny was centered around your ethnicity, Meghan. When you realized that, what did you think?
Of course it's disheartening. It's a shame that is the climate in this world, to focus that much on that, or that would be discriminatory in that sense. But I think, at the end of the day, I'm really just proud of who I am and where I come from, and we have never put any focus on that. We've just focused on who we are as a couple. And so when you take all those extra layers away and all of that noise, I think it makes it really easy to just enjoy being together and tune all the rest of that out.
So she never diminished herself. Even when she went to that interview, that late night interview, where that the host was saying something about, where did you go to school? And she said where she went to school. And then it seems like the guy was trying to diminish the school that she went to. And Meghan was like, but my mom, my parents love it, and this and that.
What about you? Have you ever studied law or went to college or anything swanky?
I did go to college. I went to Northwestern University.
That's the big one.
Well, thanks. My parents were happy with the choice.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know that one.
No.
But that doesn't mean anything. I didn't even go to college. What did you study at college?
I double majored theater and international relations, and then I went and worked for the U.S. Embassy for a bit. And
Where?
In Argentina, in Buenos Aires.
That's sensational.
And she never really never faltered of her choices. So I'm telling you, Meghan is such an inspiration in so many ways, and I'm glad she has the platform and she display her core values. Okay, despite the barrage of negativity, a lot of people would have dimmed their light or go along with the naysayers and things like that. She never faltered, and she needs to be I think there should be an award for this. I don't know what else to say. That alone, that core value she sustained and maintained and continue to maintain and proceed with her idea and things like that, it needs to be celebrated. And this is not the first time I've seen it. I've said that because I remember, I think I did a video about it. I went camping with my family, and that was at the beginning, before all of this were all about. But the other little snippet here and there, and I was starting to understand and see. And I did say, a lot of young girls should look up to Meghan, because the thing that she went through, it's unbelievable. But anyway, let me not keep on repeating myself. So that's that. Why did I bring all of this? Seems like one is a loving couple. Okay, that was from past tweet. So this is the next one. Seems like one is a loving couple and the other isn't. All right, so we know that. The others, I love this they put it together. I love this image from Miss and Harriman. If you go on PYTE, I think I've highlighted some of Miss and Harriman's pictures of Harry and Meghan. All right, so there's no comment. Let me stick with my list. Okay, I think I'm done with Harry and Meghan. These are some extra things here. All right, not too long ago, could have been on one of the videos yesterday, it was said that Swedish Royal have met with Epstein. So it seems like she's clarifying something now, and people are asking more questions. The Swedish Royal clarified Princess Sofia met Jeffrey Epstein in social settings. All right. Is that okay? Celebrity was talking about that. All right. It's not my business, but since they keep talking about it, why was she in social setting with him? There's me here laughing. More question, right? They need to leave her the F alone. She was a hoe, still a hoe. Oh my God. The internet. The internet doesn't play. We don't want to hear one word from her. She should just get away. I don't know why she even responded. Well, at least these, she should take a cue from some of those responses. Just leave it alone. All right, next tweet. Now it's about Kimora Simmons. Was it on this? Okay, so I have this to go by because I think I shared that with you. Does it have the? No. Okay, it has it. Okay. Kimora Lee Simmons just responded to Russell Simmons via her IG as well. Let me go through that first before I go to her response. This is her response to this. And I've highlighted already past video. All right. I think I put her image on that particular thumbnails. All right, so this is Russell Simmons, who's, I don't know why they went public with that, but hey, it's public. I gave you $50,000 a month for 20 years. I was your best and only friend. I'm the godfather to your other 3 kids until one day you stole my stock. I have been fighting for my kids' love and my bread ever since. You threatened that if I sue you, I will never speak to my kids again. There are 2 sides to every story. Okay, I remember looking up their ages, and I found out, I think she was 17 when she was seeing him, and he was like 35 or something like that. So go on the past video, I highlight a lot of other things on that particular caption alone. So now, this is the response. Okay, my girls are grown women. And some of the tweets were saying, I think one of them is 25, the other one is 23. Okay, you know these are lies. Why are you typing from thousands of miles away in a non-extradition country? Go negotiate and answer your accusers. In the Philippines. Let's read some of the comments here. She's sick and tired of this nigger for real. I know that's why Kimora, that's an ad. Did she lie? She gagged him. Get him again. She's so mother. Gagged his whole function. In a non-extradition country, she ate. So nothing about her stealing stocks from him. Okay. Let's pause that. She said, my girls are grown. Yeah, I saw 25 and 23, I think they're not confused and you hiding, period. All right, in non-extradition country. Oh, she ate that one. All right, let me, oh, is that her daughter? No, that's not her daughter. Yes, Kimora, say it again. I'm so glad to see her say all of this. All right, this is the last one here. Non-extradition, oh, she gagged him. Because he knows he was committing crimes in the US and had to flee. All right, next tweet. Oh, that's her again. I think this is a podcast that she was in and someone tweeted it and it come on my timeline. All right, let me pause. All right, 7. I thought homegirl only had 2. OMG. All right, let's see here. Kimora Lee Simmons explained her parenting situation. I didn't listen to it yet. 53 seconds and the screenshot.
So how many kids do you have living in your house currently? 5.
Well, 6. No, 7.
And you're doing this all on your own, like the fathers of the children are not involved?
Because I think I used to be a little different. They're not involved. I'm alone. Not really even around. And they're welcome to be around, just to clarify for the record. They're welcome to be around on their, at their will and leisure. My kids are all big enough and old enough to have their own relationships and do their own things. So it's not about me at all. It's just...
What a loss for them.
I feel like that too.
Yeah.
They don't know. I don't know what they know. Maybe they're intimidated. Or maybe they're like, oh, she's got it. Or they're like, I don't want to get her way. Maybe they're like, I don't like her. I don't know. I think a lot goes through their head, though, about the other parent and less about the child. As a mother, you cannot imagine.
You cannot imagine.
Very interesting. She's talking about the kids because in that last video that I was talking about her, I wasn't sure how many kids. She doesn't even know either. She's saying 7. But I think some of them are adopted. I don't know. She just said what she said. The other thing as well, there's an old video I saw of that actor, the black actor. I think he's British African, something like that. The actor who she had a child with, the older son. What's his name? Dijon or something like that. Okay, I don't remember his name. They went, I think he took him, the son, to his home country. Or was it, let me pause for a second. Okay, so this is the one that I'm talking about. There was a trip, a video that I saw a while back that he took his son to Africa. I'll look it up a little bit more, but let me look at this here. Okay, Kimora Lee Simmons shades her baby daddies while explaining why she doesn't deal with them. Guys are weird. Alright, so these are the baby daddies. Okay, I wasn't aware of this one here, but there it is. Okay, so there they are here again. That was the first one with the two girls, and that was with the son that I was talking about. And this one I was not aware of. But looking at that video I just saw, she did some work. Okay, there's the son. This one that I'm talking about. Okay, let me hold on for a second. Okay, his name is Jimon Hansu. Alright, let me see. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Okay, this is what I type on Google. Did Jimon Hansu, sorry if I pronounce his name wrong, did Jimon Hansu took his son to Africa with him? And the answer is yes. Dijon Hansu does take his son, Kenzo Lee Hansu, to his home village in the Benin Republic, Africa. Despite past custody dispute with Kimora Lee Simmons about access to their child, showing he maintained his cultural connection and share it with his son. Alright, so I did see that particular video a while back. Okay, you see how young he looks here? Okay. I did see that. But anyway, let's go back to this. So we just saw the video. She says she has like 7 kids in the house, okay? 4 her biological, hers, 1 private adoption, 2 bonus children. Okay, bonus. I don't know. Okay, I believe a stepson, and then one of Kenzo's and Gary's friends since childhood that permanently live in the house. OMG, I'm also grouped by 4 bio kids. I thought it was just Meng and the other one. Laughing my ass off. Nope, Meng and Aoki with Russell Simmons, Kenzo with actor Dijon Hansu, and Wolf with that super French business guy. Okay, so there's that. I don't want to get to this. I just wanted to share that video with you, okay? So what else do I have? Okay, so now we are into MAGAs. I think some of them are videos. Okay. I think there's a part 2. Okay. There's this. Want some tea? Let's listen. Almost a minute and then I'll show you the part 2. Oh, before I start, let me read this. Part 1. Mother-in-law begging me to come to Christmas while also blaming me even though it's her son, my husband, that cheated with my sister. Okay, let's listen to this.
Mother-in-law left me another unhinged voicemail begging me to come to Christmas while also blaming me for everything.
Let me just start by saying, well, I never liked you much, but that's not the point right now. I heard you decided you're done with Freddie, divorce, really, over something that you could have been swept under the rug with a little maturity and some holiday spirit. Listen, I don't care what kind of paperwork you're filling out, you will be at Christmas. With a smile, a real one. Not that tight little thing you call a smile you do when you're being dramatic. This family has traditions and you're walking and acting like your life is falling apart. It's not going to ruin my holiday. The children need stability and they need family. They need to see you sitting together, pretending everything is fine the way normal people do. Divorce is a sin, sweetie.
So yeah, I'm supposed to go to Christmas and just pretend to be happy. What do you guys think? My mother.
As I'm listening to this, I'm thinking all the issues that happen in just that little conversation, that one-sided conversation here, because it's a voicemail. Mental health. The mother-in-law doesn't care about her, the daughter-in-law, well-being, and then she's protecting the son who did the cheating. I'm just going based on that because I don't know the real issue. And this is why many of these men, those MAGAs, are doing those things that they are doing because people allow them to do it. And I'm glad she's taking a stand, and the one who's showing it, and say, I'm not gonna go. The guy betrayed her with her sister, allegedly, and she's taking a stand. But the mother-in-law is sticking to tradition and all of that and doesn't care about the issue, the problem that's going on. You're gonna come and you're gonna have to smile and pretend everything is perfect. Meanwhile, she's going through all of this. The betrayal. Oh, about this paperwork that you're doing, probably divorce papers or something like that. Oh my God. Okay, let's see here. She continues. Part 2. This mother-in-law is out of her mind. Unhinged mother-in-law says divorce is a sin, but her cheating son, my husband, didn't sin. My God. You see, this is why these guys are doing the things that they're doing. And then when somebody stand up to them and they become violent. Let's listen to this. I'm not even going to go on the comments, but I just wanted to share that with you. And I have one more after that.
This is a sin, sweetie. A sin. You don't just wake up and decide to rip a family apart because you're in your feelings. Marriage is forever. That's what vows mean. I don't know how they do things in your family, but around here, we fight for our men, even when they wander. And think of the kids. Do you want them spending Christmas crying because their mother couldn't hold a home together? Because you decided you'd rather start drama than fix what's fixable? Do you want them growing up with that? So here's what's going to happen. You will come to Christmas. You will sit next to Freddie. You will smile for the pictures, and you will act like a wife and a mother. Call me back when you're ready to behave like a Christian woman who cares about her family's reputation.
Second of all, didn't he break his vows by cheating?
This is a sin, sweetie.
No. Yeah, I'm glad she's standing her ground, protect her dignity. But what if it was her who cheated? What if it was her who cheated on the husband? How will the mother-in-law behave? So she's supposed to stay on a dysfunctional marriage while the husband, is going around, sleeping around? And God forbid if he doesn't use protection, not only having kids outside of the marriage, and the potential of getting her infected with transmitted disease. People like that, you don't need... Well, let me wish them well, and I hope she stick with her gun, and hopefully a better man will come around. But those MAGAs, those white... Okay, let me shut my mouth. I just wanted to share that with you. Next tweet. I didn't go in the comment. This is my last one here. Okay, this one was kind of funny though. Mar-a-Lago face before and after. All right. Let me go through it really quickly because I cannot share, let it play freely. So this is her, and this is her after. What's the other one? This is her. Oh my God. And this is her after. Oh my God. This is her. This is her after. This is okay, but she didn't need to do anything. This is her, This that's okay, but again, she didn't need to do anything. Oh, this is even worse. Oh my God. Okay, this is her, the original. Oh Lord. Oh, Matt Gates. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Where's the... This is her. Oh my God. Where's her before? No. She wasn't like that. She's done some... They should have looked at... I forgot her name. If I remember her name, I would have looked at her younger days. She had already done some work. Did she did more? Oh, fuck. Yes, she did. What? No, that can't be the same person. What's her name? Damn, if I remember her name. What was... Okay, let me think. What was her husband's name? I could go by that. I don't remember. Is it Belushi? I was skimming through the comments to see if the names might have popped up, but I was reading some of them were kind. Lisa, maybe that's her. Okay, let me pause. Lisa, I think that's her name, right? Let me check. Yeah, that's her. Yeah. Image. Oh my goodness. Oh fuck. She did more work. Why? She was okay here. She was okay. Oh, no. What the F? Okay, so there's the original image. Look at this. I understand people getting older, the skin is, you know, loose a little bit, but if you do exercise, look at here. She's okay here. Oh my Lord. What is wrong with these women? The only reason, the only time, okay, there's a side by side here. Yeah, this is younger, but I understand as you get older, yes, you change and things like that. But to go to that extreme, oh my Lord. Oh, I will not recognize her if I didn't see this. What in the name? Do they go to the same doctor? The doctor who does the facelift, he has a typical lip for all of her or his patients. Oh my goodness. This one was okay. She should have stopped here. You know what? Let me leave them alone. If they're happy, they're happy. The only time I think I'll be okay with plastic surgery, there's an accident, something happened where you need it. But look at her, that Sanchez, I think that's her, with Basil. Look great. I mean, there's no perfect human being. But what was wrong here? All right, that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. So this is the video that I had Kimora Lee Simmons, and this is where I first mentioned her. And then in this video that I'm talking in, and she responded to her ex-husband. All right, so that is it. Thank you for watching. Oh, I'm gonna continue recording. I'm gonna start with Karl Malone. What I'm gonna do first is to show the original defamation video where she mentioned her thing. Okay, it's in this video. And then the next couple videos after that, the next couple tweets is gonna make a reference to her apology. I will play it once and then, not in this video, and then the others I'll just, you know, go over the caption and some of the responses. Okay, so stay tuned for that next video. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better